Okay, we're going to do the pectoral girdle and the upper arm bones, upper and lower arm bones. So we have a sternum with attached costal cartilage. We have a clavicle. And clavicles, you have the flat end here, vertically flat, and then you have a horizontally flat end. This is the acromial end. This is sternal end. And if you flip them over, there's actually a groove on the underside here, so you'll know that that's the bottom side, the inferior side of the clavicle, and the flat side is always going laterally, and the other flat side that's vertically flat is always on the medial side. So the sternal end of the clavicle fits right in there next to the manubrium. And then we have a scapula, and the scapula fits in here, and the clavicle just touches that acromion there. So this is a scapula. So we'll start here on the posterior side. So this is the main body with the spine going up, ending in the acromion here. We have the glenoid cavity, so that's where your head of your humerus is going to fit into there. Then you have the coracoid process here, sticking off here, the raven's beak. Then you have the subscapular fossa underneath on the anterior side. So how you tell left from right? You have a glenoid cavity here, and so the spine is always going to be on the back. So you flip that around this way, and then you just hold it up yourself and say, okay, this way, because the glenoid cavity's got to stick out laterally, and the spine's going to be on the back side, so it can't go this way. That doesn't look right. And it can't go that way because my shoulder wouldn't have anything to hang off of. There's no glenoid cavity. That's on the other side there. So it has to be on this side. So there you go, like that. And then, so your humerus is going to hang off there. So here's your humerus. Here's the head of the humerus and the sorry about that. Head of the humerus. This part right here, this groove right here, and let's see if we can see it right along there. That's the neck. And so it goes around. There's the neck of the humerus, and then there's the greater tubercle, and the lesser tubercle of the humerus, and then there's this intertubercular sulcus here, where there's a tendon that goes up and over the head of the humerus into the shoulder. So the head of the humerus fits into the glenoid cavity of the scapula just like that. So this is a right and this is a right. So both of them fit together like that. And then when you've got them together, then you can have this little this groove. There's a tendon that goes up and over and goes underneath this acromion here. And it's fairly tight here. So you have a little bursa right underneath that, a little pad filled with fluid. We'll talk about what those are in a couple weeks. So the tendon slides back and forth as the arm goes up and down, and so it doesn't rub on that bone. So you have the acromion, the coracoid process, and your glenoid cavity here, and the head of the humerus fits right into there and does that. So then your shoulder can move around all those different directions, just like that. So you can rotate and go up and down and do circumduction. So we'll talk about all those joint motions. So now, so here's your humerus, and sorry about that. So here's the anterior side. We have the trochlea, is this part here. Here's the capitulum here. So that's the capitulum. It's roundish. And then you have your trochlea, which looks like kind of like a spool of thread in a lot of ways to me. And then what you have on the front side, you have a little indentation right here. And on the back side, you have a much larger indentation here. This is the olecranon fossa, and this is the coronoid fossa here. So we're going to put that down, and we're going to go to the ulna. So we have a trochlear notch here. Okay, you can see that. You see the olecranon here, and then we have the coracoid process here, and then we have the styloid process of the ulna. So the olecranon fits into the olecranon fossa there, and the coronoid process fits up into the coronoid fossa. So then the olecranon fossa, flip it over, and it goes that way. So, oops. So your elbow works like that. So we have this lever. So this lever that goes up and around, and so it follows that groove in the trochlea there, and goes into the fossa, and then this one goes into the olecranon fossa on the backside. Then you also have an ulna. So here's an ulna. Okay, you have styloid process. You have the ski slope down here. If I'm going to turn it aside so you can maybe see what that looks like here. So it ski slopes down and then flares out at the base. So it's kind of like a ski slope going down. Then you have the tubercle here, and the head of the radius. It's nice and round, and so it can spin. So put these guys together, and your radius, and so you have the styloid process, the radius, that's going to be on the lateral side, and then you have right here, you have a little groove where the head of the radius is going to fit right there. So you put the head of the radius on, you put the ski slope in front, head of the radius underneath the capitulum right there, and then put these guys together like that, like so, and then they can go up and down. And then they can also, the radius also, since it's round on top, it can rotate. So it helps this arm rotate. So then you can rotate your arm like that. And that is the most of the upper arm. I'll do the hand and wrist next.